She talked about the teacher who was somewhat dismissive of the child's story, right? What would be the buffering response to that? Am I asking the teacher to say, "Oh my goodness, amazing, you're the best person ever in the world, that was so beautiful"? No, that's not. In fact, I'm asking for the opposite of silliness. I'm asking for seriousness, right? The SEL response, the buffering response, is to take that child very seriously. Take a moment, listen, show with honor that that child is sharing their heart and soul with you, right? No judgment, like Jill said, but appreciation and listening and thanking them for sharing that with you. That is the buffering response, because you're showing the child that you see them and that the meaning that they give to themselves is also meaning that you validate, okay? If you get this type of skepticism, just a quick reminder, I know I'm running out of time, I'll get there, about attachment, okay? You guys have heard of attachment theory. So this skepticism that we get often with, why do we have to be a buffer? Why do we have to be child's therapist? We're supposed to be their teacher. Is this idea really about attachment? And why does love exist? People forget that the reason love exists is to allow learning to happen. Okay? So you can't say, well, I don't have time to love the children if you want them to learn, because learning cannot happen without love. Something, just a good starting place to think about, at your organization, does every child feel seen and heard upon arrival and have a brief chance to process some of what is brought from home? Right? So those are nice starting points to think about. Chances are, if you're answering that question no, you'll think about a lot more things that could go down the road to help that. And then finally, follow the United principle, meaning United Airlines, right? They say put the gas mask on yourself before a child. You have to get on this train of self-care and or mindfulness. You have to do it, because this is a heavy lift. So in sum, I know that you already know that children are precious, okay? You wouldn't be here if you didn't think that. We want kids to feel on the left, and on the right, that's anathema to us. That's why we're in this business. But I appreciate the time to be able to discuss with you today this sort of next step in this process, which is to understand that the other side of precious is breakable, right? Children's hearts and souls are very breakable, okay? Perhaps even more than their bodies, right? Kids can fall off the swings multiple times and be okay. But if children are invisible to you multiple times, they're not okay. They're not just going to bounce back from it. A scar forms. And in 2018, we have the brain, physiology, genetic evidence to underscore this point. So please, do everything you can to not be a part of forming that scar, and do everything you can to help your colleagues understand that and do the same. And at the same time, take care of yourself and be tender with yourself in this very heavy lift that I've been talking about, and in the important work that you've chosen to do. Thank you.